Hello, 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 show with no namers. Can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Give it to me. Everybody ready? Time for liftoff. Let's go.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
You better get pumped.
0. Ignition.
Motívate. Más te vale. You'd better. You had better. Ya estamos aprendiendo. All right, here we go. You'd better buckle up. Más te vale. Or else, porque si no,
get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats.
And get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no name tag.
Where?
On Vaughn Radio.
Right, Vaughn Radio. That's it. Get psyched. Let's go. Feels good. Say it. Let's go. Come on. Sometimes you just can't keep it in. No te puedes contener. Is that how you say it? You can't keep it in. In the words of a wise man, Cat Stevens, oh, I can't keep it in. I can't keep it in. I gotta let it out. I've gotta show the world. World's gotta see all the love that you bring. I said, why walk alone? Why worry when it's warm over here? You got so much to say what you mean what you're thinking and think anything. Oh man, Cat Stevens. Can't keep it in. Probably, this week we're looking at feel-good movies. In our question of the week, well, that's a feel-good song. Oh, I can't keep it in. Really, play it. I want you to play it after the show. You're going to love it. And look at the lyrics, really important. You can just go to YouTube and put Cat Stevens, oh, I can't keep it in. And then put lyrics or lyric video. And voila, you got your own karaoke. It's got a positive message, a feel-good message. And, well, that's a perfect opportunity to remind you guys to participate in our weekly question of the week. It's a speaking section. And this week, tell us your top 3 feel-good movies. The ones that always make you smile. They always make you feel better. Your top 3 all-time feel-good movies. And why, of course. It's question of the week. You can send it to my email, aalonso@grupovon.com. I urge you to participate.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's our website, Grupo Vaughan or grupovon.com. Also, make sure you're following along on social media and you know about everything we want you to know about, including English content, upcoming events like our trivia night. Quick reminder, mark your calendars. You've got May 6th. May 6th, Kyle Miller will be hosting our Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room. It's located in Malasaña. What an awesome place to spend a few hours in the center of Madrid. And Kyle will be making the questions doable, right? They're definitely doable. asequibles. Well, Richard Vaughn, I mean, his questions are doable, but man, he knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. Kyle, too. But Kyle's like, all right, let's do some pop culture, some geography. So join us the 6th of May. And then, if you want to plan ahead, the 3rd of June. This is 2025, both of them, the 3rd of May and no, not the 3rd of May. See, I got to look at it. The 6th of May and the 3rd of June. That's it. Kyle Miller, May 6th. Yours truly, un servidor, June 3rd. They're both going to be at 8 p.m. They're both going to be at the Toast Tap Room. Come hang out. You've got plenty of time. Tenéis tiempo de sobra. You've got plenty of time to get your butt over here to Madrid and celebrate with us. And if you can't, hey, we get it. Needs must. Needs must is, pues, las cosas, las obligaciones son las obligaciones. No me puedo coger un martes. No puedo ir a... But if you can, by all means, we'd love to meet you. I mean, it's for us, it's a great chance, too, to know who's listening to us. Some of you who, I love it when you guys do that, when you introduce yourselves, because I don't normally walk around to each table. I don't know if anyone's there for Vaughn or if they're there just because they found out about it. So I normally don't, I socialize, but I don't mingle. I kind of sit at my table. But thanks to all of you guys, every time I go, who come up and say, hey, Alberto, how's everything going? Oh, I love this thing I learned on your show the other day. Or, man, I'm having a really good time with these jokes. Whatever it is, thank you. And so, again, it's a special evening for us, too, for the Vaughn Radio presenters. Kyle Miller, and then me in June. July and August, I'm not sure if we're doing them, so that might be it. Don't quote me on that. No me cites. Don't quote me on that. But I think mine, June 3rd, will be the last one, and then we'll be on the break. Maybe there's going to be one in July, but you never know. Hey, tomorrow is not promised. Is it? All right, that's good. And make sure if you use that word, make sure you promise me that you'll never pronounce it promise, because it's not promise, it's promise. Así que dilo ahora mismo en voz alta. Alberto, I promise. All right, and I promise I'll do my part, and I'll keep challenging you every day here on the show and entertaining you and teaching you English. So let's kick off with our first challenge, our pop quiz. Come on. I can't hear you. Sing it. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right. Ready for your first challenge? Or shall I say challenges? Plural? All right. Well, you came to the right place if you like a challenge. And every day in our pop quiz, I take advantage of all the different materials you have available at your fingertips at the Vaughn Tienda. And you have got something for everyone. You've got complete courses. You've got ones that deal with specifically phrasal verbs or prepositions. You've got ones for specific levels as well. And you've even got some wacky books, chiflados, like mine. As you know, I have 5 books. I have English everywhere. I have This Book is the Milk. I have This Book is the Milk 2. I have English on the Go. And I also have This Book is the Shit, which is my latest book. And those books have grammar, they have phrasal verbs, they have common mistakes in them, pronunciation things, and all that jazz, but not without the humor, not without the entertaining angle. But some books are just about getting down to business, especially our translation booklet, which we looked at yesterday. Again, if there's anything you've been toying with getting, it's our translation booklet. Putting my books aside, honestly, I think they're worth their weight in gold. But we're not going to look at the translation booklets again today. Today, we're going to take a look at a book by the lady, who has a show right after this show. But she's a great friend of mine. I just can't remember her name. It was,
Jimena will test your English. Yes, she'll test your English. Jimena will test your English with Nacho. Wow! That's right, Test Your English is on Vaughn Radio every day at 12:30 with Jimena and Nacho.
that's it. Jimena Holiday. That's right. Well, this material, I should say, because it's more than just a book. It is a material that comes with hours of audio. We're going to listen to a little excerpt right now. It's called Natural English. So just if you can pronounce the title correctly, we're off to a good start. Hemos empezado con buen pie. No natural, natural. Natural. Y no hay tanta énfasis en natural, right? It's natural. Casi paso por encima de esa U. Natural. Se une con la T y la R y se pierde ahí un poco. It's not natural, no natural, right? Natural. Natural English. And in this book, you'll find useful idiomatic expressions. You'll find collocations, which collocations are like expressions. They're sets of words that you tend to find together, and that can be an expression, or that can be, and so on and so forth, etc. Right? That's a collocation. Those words, when they go together, they make up their own little jingle, if you will, su rafaguilla. And you've got a little bit of everything here. So, folks, I want your undivided attention as we listen to some natural English, and pay attention, because afterwards I will have some challenges for you.
Part 1. How are you feeling? Chapter 1. When you're in love.
Cuando estás enamorado. 4 key expressions.
Love at first sight.
Amor a primera vista.
A match made in heaven.
Hechos el uno para el otro. Una combinación perfecta.
To be head over heels for.
Estar locamente enamorado de.
To tie the knot.
Casarse.
More useful English. Set phrase. What can I say?
¿Qué quieres que te diga?
Phrasal verb. To walk into.
Entrar.
Common mistake.
¿Cómo es él? De personalidad. En inglés no se dice how is he, sino
What's he like? Pronunciation.
portugués se dice
Portuguese. Exaggerate. How on earth?
¿cómo demonios?
Vocabulary. A romantic getaway.
Una escapada romántica.
So tell me everything about your date last night.
Oh, what can I say, Sarah? It was love at first sight. I mean, as soon as he walked into the cinema, I knew it.
As soon as he walked in.
The second he walked in, he looked at me and it just took my breath away. And I said to myself, that's the man I want to marry.
Wow. Okay, so what's he like? Is he funny, interesting?
Oh, well, he doesn't speak much English, so we were mainly whispering sweet nothings to each other whilst watching the film. And then...
Wait a second. He doesn't speak much English. And you most certainly don't speak Portuguese. How on earth did you communicate?
Through the language of love, Sarah. He's very romantic, so lovey-dovey, and I totally have the hots for him. And we both loved the film. We're basically a match made in heaven. We're even planning a romantic getaway next weekend.
Already? Well, it sounds like you're head over heels for him, and I'm happy for you and everything, but isn't it all a bit sudden?
Can I tell you a secret? I think he's going to ask me to tie the knot.
Wait, what?
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
Weekend Town. Yeah, that's right. It just came out last year. Now you can go away. You can get a weekend getaway. We just heard that word in natural English. To get away is the verb. Oh, man, I really need to get away. Or get away from me, you creep. But if we put it all together, it's I like a romantic getaway. And if we put it together with music, then we've got Lenny Kravitz. I want to get away. I want to fly away. Well, it's the perfect weekend getaway. It's called Weekend Town, and it's one of our newest, latest, greatest initiatives here at Vaughan. Check it out. You can get more information at our website, grupovaughan.com. All right, well, we were listening to something from Natural English. We heard some really awesome variety there as far as accents are concerned, which I think is great. Another thing, another claim to fame, cosa que nos hace conocidos aquí, is that, you know, on Vaughan Radio, in our materials, you will get the gamut of accents. Okay, you got Northern England, you got Australia, you've got South Africa, and as I say, these countries, people's faces and names come to mind that work here at Vaughan. So this is more than just, I know the founder, Richard Vaughan, is American English, and that's what he speaks. Although he could work for the BBC, you know, with a Today in Tehran. And did you notice he really got into that? He's like, the language of love. And that's precisely what we're going to talk about today. Who doesn't like to talk about love? Whether you're in love, whether you're falling in love, whether you have fallen out of love. It's a beautiful thing. There are movies. In fact, I imagine some of the movies we're going to get in our question of the week will be lovey-dovey. That's another thing we heard in that audio. Lovey-dovey. A ver cómo lo traducen, lo dijeron, pero sí, there's my memory. Lovey-dovey. It's a hyphenated word. Tortolos. Tortolos se dice? Okay. Oh, you guys are really lovey-dovey, right? You're really lovey-dovey. You two love birds. It's another way to say it as well. So we're going to take a look at different ways, things that we say, idiomatic expressions that we use when we're talking about love. And I don't have to tell you how many songs there are about love or how many movies are based on love found, love lost. De hecho, ahí tienes una expresión, no love lost. ¿Sabes qué significa? Pues yo no me caes bien ni te caigo bien. Pues a ver cómo lo traducen. No love lost. No aprecio. No, we neither one of us like each other. O sea, no nos caemos bien entre nosotros. Nos detestamos. Oh yeah, what did Pablo say about me? Well, hey, no love lost. You know, aquí, no. So it's these are sometimes it doesn't have to do with love. Sometimes it has to do with the opposite, right? We've got expressions like breaking up or splitting up, que es cortar. We wouldn't really say they cut. No, cortaron la semana pasada. We would say they broke up or they split up. Ahora, si viene de una persona que suele ser así, aunque no se diga, you'd say that person dumped, pero es más suave, they split up. Ahí, you're not talking about, who made the move. But if you say Sarah dumped John, that means she broke up with him. Okay. But you can just say they broke up. And again, we're looking for diplomacy whenever possible there. Right. So these are little things you need to know, because especially when we're talking about love, the details count. Right. It's not the same to say, I want you, than I love you. Te quiero in Spanish. I want you is a sexual thing. So careful with that one. I want you. Oh, okay. Here? Hey, just a little FYI. All right. The first one I want you to give me, I'm going to give you 3 challenges as I always do in our pop quiz. The first one is amor a flechazos. I think you say, right? That's the way. Let's see. Amor a flechazos. A primera vista. I think it's going to be easier for you. Just careful. There's a little preposition in there somewhere that can throw you off. So, amor a primera vista. All right. The next one is how would you tell somebody, your friend met a girl, and how would you tell them, sois una pareja perfecta? Genial. Sois lo más. Estáis hecho uno para el otro. Okay, I'm just trying to think of different ways to express the idea in Spanish. Pero vamos, perfect couple. Now, we all know that doesn't exist. Yeah, don't believe Instagram. There are no perfect couples. Everybody's got their problems. The grass is always greener, right? The grass is always greener. Siempre vemos en el otro lado que tiene, mira qué verde el césped ahí, como si no tuvieran sus problemas. Right? Even famous. In fact, I believe the more famous you are, the more problems you have. Because your problem, look at Justin Bieber. You're on top of the world, and now people are like, oh, he's really gone downhill. Ha ido cuesta abajo. I'm using him as an example, but could be anyone. You know, Marilyn Manson, he's a sexual predator. Or see what I mean? The one minute they love you, the next minute they hate you, and sometimes you have something to do with it. Sometimes it's just, Hollywood's done with you. That's how the industry works. You're not as young as you were. You put on some extra pounds. Your hair is turning gray. That's tienes canas, right? Hey, what happens to all of us? So, pareja perfecta. And the last one, si sois una pareja perfecta, and you're thinking about settling down, it's another good one, because that could be a triple trouble. Settle down is tranquilízate. If I say to my daughter, settle down, it's the same as calm down. Now, if you are my Spanish grandma, may she rest in peace, Maria Lilia, she was asking it in a different way. Now, she didn't ask me in English, but I'll translate it. When are you going to settle down? ¿Cuándo vas a tranquilizarte, formalizarte, poner raíces? When are you going to settle down? Ahora, si quitamos este down to settle, that's what people do. The Pilgrims settled the United States, America, the 13 colonies, right? To settle is to set up your home there. So the idea is the same. We even have an expression is when the dust settles, cuando el polvo ya vuelve a su sitio y se aclara el aire, se puede ver las cosas, ¿no? Después de las cosas. So, casarse. But I don't want you to say get married. That's an easy one. I expect you to know they got married last year. When are you going to get married? I want you to use one that we would consider totally native. So again, your pop quiz, you've got 3 challenges here. You can give them to me here in the comments, and we will take a look at them in a little bit. The first one is amor a primera vista. Use it in context, as I always ask you to do. I think that's the logical way to do it. Just so you use it, A, the way you want to use it, and then B, I check and make sure that that's correct in English. So it serves 2 purposes. Like, ¿cómo yo usaría eso? Pues úsalo. And then there I can say, bueno, si lo vas a usar así, hay que hacer esto. O no, perfecto, te digo muchas veces. So the first one, amor a primera vista. Is it true? I think I've heard amor a flechazos también. The next one is una pareja perfecta. How would you express it? Think of one. Maybe Victoria Beckham and David. I'm kidding. I'm just making sure you're paying attention. And the last one, another way of saying casarse. Hey, if you're married, you can tell us me casé en tal año, right? O tal día, if you don't want to tell us the year you got married. So, folks, I think there's no way around it. Love is in the air every time I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. All right, well, folks, we'll talk about love. How many songs, man? I'm not talking about love. My love is rotten to the core. Van Halen. I ain't talking about love. What's love got to do with it? It's Friday, I'm in love. All right, lots more love where that came from when we come back. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with No Name. It's a pleasure to have you here with us for another exciting edition. Just a quick reminder, participate in our question of the week. It's a chance to practice your speaking. And this week, we want to know your 3 go-to, las que siempre eliges, your 3 go-to feel-good movies and why. Keep it at around a minute. So movie and why, movie and why, movie and why. As you say in Spanish, no te enrolles demasiado. It's not the exercise. Maybe we'll do exercises where I'm like, tell me in 5 minutes, but this one, due to time constraints, una forma muy formal de decir que no hay mucho tiempo, time is of the essence. Another way of saying time is money, es oro, vale. ¿No? Es tan importante. So in this part of the show, to make the most of our time, we're going to kick off with our Say What soundbite. We're going to check your pop quiz answers as well. And then we've got our spelling bee. We've also got name that movie, name that lyric, music, and so much more. Jokes. You know we've got a little something for everyone. But right now, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah, Say what? Yeah. Welcome to today's Say What soundbite. I love this one. I can tell you right now, it's from one of the greatest sitcoms ever. And I put ever in capital letters, con mayúscula, ever. Oh man, I love this sitcom, and many other people in the United States did as well. It wasn't the only one. No way, Jose. All right, but it's not important. You don't need to know where it's from. If you want to try and guess where the accent is from, that's great. That's fine. But you don't need to know where it's from or who it is. You really have 2 jobs. The first one, tell me what you heard. Tell me in your best English. The second job, give me all of it. Word for word. Every comma, every period, as if you were a court stenographer. right? I think those are the people who write everything down during a court case. Is that it? Am I making that up? Court stenographer? Court stenographer. Let's see. Maybe I'm making that one up. Hey, at least I'm checking. Court stenographer. Or shorthand reporter. Yeah, they write things. Yeah, I was right. A court reporter or court stenographer. Hey, there it is. Not a word I use often. All right, amigos, it's time for your Say What soundbite. Everybody, listen up. Here it is for the first time.
You're not Chinese?
No.
I thought you were Chinese.
From Long Island.
Long Island? I thought I was getting advice from a Chinese woman.
I'm sorry.
Well, then that changes everything. What? She's not Chinese. I was duped.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That last word's going to be tough. That's going to be the one that makes you quiver. To quiver is another way of saying to shake. All right, let me give it to you a second time. And at first, remember, I just want your observations. So everybody listen up. Here it is for the second time.
You're not Chinese?
No.
I thought you were Chinese.
From Long Island.
Long Island? I thought I was getting advice from a Chinese woman.
I'm sorry.
Well, then that changes everything. What? She's not Chinese. I was duped.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
And that round of applause is for you, amigos. Wow. So many people participating in all our different sections here today on the show. And that is wonderful news. As always, the more you participate, the more you are going to improve your English. And I know I've heard the improvement, especially those of you who participate in our question of the week. You know who you are. Chris Valrol, Elena, Gloria, Laura, Marisol, Anix, Open Waters, Paco, Nudia. I think I said Nudia already. And all the rest of you. Elena, you know who you are. Keep up the great work. I think I've named most of you. And if I left you out, Christina, Chicago, I'm talking about not people who have participated once. But once you've participated a couple times, I feel like I know you as an English speaker and more as a person since, well, sometimes we ask more personal questions and sometimes they're a little bit frivolous, if you will. All right, so let's see what we've got. We've got our Say What soundbite out there. I'll give you guys some time to figure out what you heard there and relay that information back to me. And in the meantime, we'll take a look at our pop quiz. All right, the first one. We say love at first sight. O sea, exactamente igual. Love at first sight. Okay? A primera vista. The important thing there, I think, would be to know that it's at, not in first sight or on. It's love at first sight. No frase hecha, la collocation, as I said. Love at first sight. Oh, man, I knew you two had a great thing going. Iba a decir la próxima, pero esperamos. When I saw you the first time, it was love at first sight. Now, if you want to be cute, you want to be funny, we also say love at first bite. A primer mordisco. Woohoo! It's getting hot in here, folks. Love at first bite or love at first sight. And to have the hots for somebody. I remember, I think that one in Back to the Future, Jenny's got the hots for you. And that means she likes you. She's interested in you. She's head over heels. There's another one we heard in the audio. Something happens and I'm head over heels. Great song by Tears for Fears. I'm trying to think of any song. I'm sure there's a song with love at first sight, but I can't think of it right now. Or love at first bite. I'm sure you guys can come up with some in the comments. One song does come to mind. Once bitten, twice shy. O sea, ya cuando me han engañado una vez, ya soy un poco más tímido. Once bitten, twice shy. In fact, there's a group that sings a song, a rock song, Great White, like the shark. And the song goes, my, I'm once bitten, twice shy, baby. So, all right, love at first bite or sight? You decide. Great job, folks. The second one. You are a match made in heaven. Yeah, a match made in... You can say you're a perfect match. You guys go together. You go really well together, right? You can say that too. But you can also say that with a shirt and socks. So this one's more specific, right? You're a match made in heaven. And a match es una pareja. In fact, Celestino o Celestina is a matchmaker. Okay, también es alguien que hace cerillas. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, I did. So, and I think there's a song, Richard Vaughn, I'm sure would know it. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Something. I know there's got to be a You know what? I'm not gonna live with this doubt the rest of my life. Matchmaker, make me a match. Is this a song? Oh, okay, not watchmaker. Claro. Matchmaker. Oh, wow. I really typed that bad. Make me a match. Maybe I'm making this up here. Matchmaker. Oh, no, yeah. It's a song, folks. Aha. That's where it's from. It's from Fiddler on the Roof. If I was a rich man, no, and I have all the money in the world. If I was a wealthy man, if I was a rich man. So yes, Matchmaker is a song from the 1964 musical Fiddler on the Roof. Look at that, huh? I knew I wasn't making it up. All right, so a match made in heaven. And the third one, another way to say to get married, is to tie the knot. So wonderful job to everyone who's participating. When are you gonna tie the knot? Atar el nudo, we say, to tie the knot. Also, you can say to walk down the aisle. Okay? To walk down the aisle. Andar por el pasillo. And there, they're not talking about the aisle in the bus or in the airplane. They're talking about at a church. Well, if you choose to get married at a church, right? So to tie the knot was our third one. I don't know if you were familiar with these or not. Tie the knot. Well, hey, just so you know, you've got some homophones there. Remember this one. I'm not gonna tie the knot. No voy a atar el nudo barra casarme. As we said before, let's take a look. We'll review a few other ones that I think are worth mentioning. And this way, we're feeling a lot of love today, brothers and sisters. To fall in love and to fall out of love. I know we looked at them, and out of, you can say, is outa. But remember this, fall, fell, fallen. So you never say, I felt in love. In el pasado is, I fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love. I knew the songs were going to come up, right? To fool around is tontear, in both senses of the word. And the past tense, I fell. So that's a big mistake that happens when people are talking about falling in love. We already looked at head over heels, love at first sight. It was love at first sight. I know that's in a song somewhere. The apple of one's eye. If I say Lara is the apple of my eye, it means she's my ojito derecho. So that's more about platonic love, right? Family love, not romantic love. You know, love that you would use the expression to tie the knot. But you can't tie the knot without popping the question. Well, to pop the question is to propose to someone. Did you pop the question? When are you going to pop the question? Well, we've been dating. To date is seeing each other, or dating is saliendo juntos. So we've been seeing each other. We've been dating for 3 years. I think it's time to tie the knot because we haven't broken up or split up. Remember, we looked at those before as well. But if you get dumped, you could be heartbroken, or you could have a broken heart. And there's another one that I'm sure you've all heard in music, right? And then you'll cry your heart out. And you just hope the person doesn't say, cry me a river, cry me a river. Es como, llora todo lo que quieras ahora. All right? You probably did something to deserve it in that case. Love is blind. I believe you say the same thing. If love is blind, I don't want to see. Love is blind. I know there's another song there. On the Rocks. There's another one with love. Neil Diamond. I didn't plan to get all these songs, but here they come. They're inspired in these idiomatic expressions, which is great for you because if you listen to the songs, you'll learn the expressions a lot easier in a musical way. Love on the rocks. Ain't no surprise. Pour me a drink and I'll tell you some lies. Mr. Neil Diamond, that's right. So you can say, yeah, on the rocks, in trouble, right? We already looked at to dump. I love this one too because there's a play on words with it. She's looking for Mr. Right. He's looking for Mrs. Right, right? And that's la correcta, la que es para ti, right? But I don't remember where. I'm sure it was a movie somewhere. Because remember, we said love is in music and movies. So if you want to learn these expressions, you know, how we express this stuff, watch any Meg Ryan movie or, you know, listen to any song, love song. Even heavy metal bands have love songs because it's that emotion, you know. Those 3 words, in those 3 words are I love you. So what was the pun? Oh, the pun. So the pun says, Are you Mr.? I want to make sure you're Mr. Right and not just Mr. Right now. ¿Lo pillas? Quiero asegurarme que eres el hombre perfecto, correcto, perfecto para mí, y no el del flor del momento, el del sabor del mes. You get it? I want to make sure you're Mr. Right, not Mr. Right now. Because I'm looking for my Prince Charming. You say Príncipe Azul. We say Encantador. Prince Charming. That's right. Well, a good way to make sure you fall in love or find the right person if you fall in love is to wear your heart on your sleeve. Wait a second. That's gross. You're going to get blood everywhere. That's disgusting. Wear your heart on your sleeve? No, not literally. To wear your heart on your sleeve, it means that you show your emotions openly. You're good at communicating your emotions. And that's, don't underestimate that, folks, right? And I think any other ones, looking at to get hitched. Ooh, there's another totally native one. So you can say to get married, to tie the knot, or to get hitched, to settle down. It's another way of saying it too. But be careful with those old flames. Esas viejas llamas. What? Wait, you're saying I'm going to get burnt over here? Well, yeah, kind of, in both senses of the word. This is a past lover, an old flame, right? She was an old flame of mine. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's lots to talk about when we talk about love. I am sure you can find lists and lists. You can even go to Chat GPT. Let's see. Let's ask Chat GPT here. Best love songs ever. Let's see what it says. Best love songs ever. You're the One That I Want from Greece. That's a love song. Oh, of course. Number one. And I will always love you. I will always love. All right, sung by Whitney Houston. All right, here's the challenge. Let's see how well you know your music. Who wrote the song? The one and only Dolly Parton. So if you said Dolly Parton, it's her song. She wrote it. And Whitney Houston made it famous in that movie, The Bodyguard. Then you've got Endless Love, Diana Ross and Lionel Richie. Beautiful song. What a beautiful, two of the greatest singers doing a ballad. Then you've got Unchained Melody. And mine goes by so slowly, and time can do so much for you. What a beautiful one that one is. Unchained Melody. Elvis did a version of that too. You got to see one of Elvis's last concerts. Put Elvis, I don't want to say it, but it's true. Fat Elvis and Unchained Melody, and get ready to bawl your eyes out. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful song, and you can see a man who's obviously on the rocks, not just his relationships, but his life, and it's beautiful, beautiful. I Can't Help Falling in Love is another love one by Elvis. Elvis had many, many love songs. Something in the way she moves, she likes me like no other lover. Hey, I'm giving you some ideas here. Something by the Beatles. You've also got Wonderful Tonight, Eric Clapton. Oh, man. And I said, yes, you look wonderful tonight. At Last, Etta James. That was our wedding song. Yeah. And then look at this. We've got modern love songs. So those are for all of you old farts like me. Yeah, alguien viejo, we say an old fart, un pedo viejo. All of you old farts like me. The modern ones. All of me takes all of you. John Legend. Thinking Out Loud. Ed Sheeran. Adele, Make You Feel My Love. It's originally a Bob Dylan song. Just the Way You Are. Bruno Mars, Perfect. That's a beautiful song. Ed Sheeran, Love on Top, 1,000. I don't even know half of them. And how could you forget Shallow? Shallow with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. And the last one, I can't leave it out here. We were talking about some soundtracks before, bandas sonoras, with what about the one from Titanic? O sea, lo puedes llamar the song from Titanic, and everybody will know which one you're talking about. Love can touch us one time and once for a lifetime. This is My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. So I'm sure you guys, in fact, why don't you do that in the comments? Give us your favorite love song. Tell us a love song that every time you hear it, it just makes you feel the love. I think there's even a song called Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Guys, I'm not even trying. I'm like a jukebox over here because really, look at how many songs have inspired love. A jukebox is una gramola, you say in Spanish. Well, you're saved by the bell, amigos, because we've got to go to a quick commercial break. So you're going to get a break from my singing love songs, sappy love songs. Toma, esta es una buena palabra también. Sappy, sensiblero, sentimental, pasteloso. Hey, don't knock love. No critiques al amor. Another great one, Love Song by Tesla. ¿No la conoces? Well, I think I've given you a great list there, and we're going to check your suggestions as well. All that and much more when we come back. So, stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. We're going to kick off with our homophones. After that, we are going to listen to our Say What soundbite for the 3rd time. We'll also hear your reactions. And after that, we have our spelling bee. Let's see, is it going to be challenging? Well, it's always challenging. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Lots of A's, lots of I's, and lots of E's. Those are the 3 most confusing letters for Spanish speakers when they're spelling in English. A, E, I. Yeah, I know. Also J and G. People mix up. But hey, if you know which ones cause problems and you're aware of them, well, maybe you won't make that mistake. The common ones that everybody makes. But that's why we do it, folks. You don't know how many times my first year of teaching, I would say, spell your name. They would say, E, no, I, no, A. I'm like, whoa. All right. We've got to go back to square one. You got to know your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3s. The basics. The brass tacks. The bare bones. All right, amigos, let's kick off with words that sound the same or not. It's homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It is time for our homophone section here on the show. The first thing I want to know is if you're familiar with the 2 words I'm going to give you. And the good news is many times these words, even though there are just 2 of them, some of them have like 27 million meanings. So consider it a lesson on many words many times. And it's a pronunciation lesson. We also look at grammar, when to use it, how to use it. Is it used with a preposition? So we look at it in context as well. The usage, as we call it in English. All right. Well, the first word makes my mouth water. Okay. Why? Because it's a panecillo, un bollo. See, my mouth, as you can hear. See that saliva on the microphone? That's incredible. Yeah, just the sound of panecillo, bollo, makes me hungry. The word also means rodar. It means andar o circular. Okay? It's also rollo de papel for the British. We call it a different way. It's lanzar o tirar, si hablamos de dados, dice. Okay. What else? Rollo o carrete. So when we used to have film. Okay. And wow, a lot of meanings here. Okay. Lanzamiento de dados. Whoa. Wow. Irse, moverse, pasar por, revolcarse, marchar, ir sobre ruedas. Jeez, Louise, this is a rich word. So if you know this word, you have the potential of learning another 50 meanings of this word as well. All right, so that's the first word. Rodar, andar, circular, panecillo, bollo. Qué gracioso que el primero que yo digo es panecillo o bollo. All right, and the second word is papel, but not papel like paper. papel, función. Papel en una obra de teatro, papel, rol que desempeñas en tu trabajo, función, papel. Okay? I know you're familiar with both of these words. So what are these words, and do they sound exactly the same or not? All right, let me also give you our Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
You're not Chinese?
No.
I thought you were Chinese.
From Long Island.
Long Island? I thought I was getting advice from a Chinese woman.
I'm sorry.
Well, then that changes everything. What? She's not Chinese. I was duped.
Who's ready to learn English?
I am, Daddy.
Great, 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 great.
Welcome to Alas Inglés with my daddy.
And my lovely daughter. Vamos a aprender inglés y reírnos juntos.
Learn with us. Aprende con nosotros. Let's go, amigos. Goes.
Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 2. Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good. Glad to hear it. Well, today we're going to take a look at days of the week. Do you know the weekdays? What are weekdays?
The days we go to school.
Yeah, that's called a weekday, día de la semana. And what about fin de semana, my favorite?
The weekend.
So we have weekdays, 5 weekdays, and 2 weekend days. Let's see if you know the days.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Friday.
And what days are the weekend?
Saturday and Sunday.
That's right. The weekend is Saturday and Sunday. What's your favorite day?
Saturday.
Me too. I love Saturdays. Do you know I have a joke for you?
Yeah.
What are the 2 strongest days of the week?
I don't know.
Saturday and Sunday. The other days are weekdays. Did you get it? Week, escrito W-E-E-K, is semana. But week, escrito W-E-A-K, is débil. So you get it? They're weekdays. Días débiles, días de la semana. Did you have fun in today's class?
Yeah.
Me too. We'll see ya
next time, amigos. Repaso.
Review with her.
Fin de semana.
Weekend.
Lunes.
Monday.
Martes.
Tuesday.
Viernes.
Friday.
And débil.
Week.
Great job.
There you go, folks. Yeah. I told you yesterday, I said I was going to play episode 2. It's just about 2 minutes or so. And every week with my daughter's school, we're doing a little initiative since they have their own podcast/radio show. Well, we do a little section and I review something with my daughter here with the microphones on. And you know what? A lot of people, and not just kids, are telling me it's really helpful. Because we're going back to basics. You need to know the weekdays. I hope you don't say Tuesday or Thursday or what, or Wednesday, right? So let's start with that. That's stuff you should know, especially at your level. And I know many of you have a relatively high level. So I don't know if you agree with me here, but the word on the street, the consensus is that my daughter's knocking it out of the park. Stay tuned, because as I promised you guys, I'll share it with you here on the show once it's aired there. I got to let them air it. They haven't asked, but just to, give it to them first. They air it, and then as soon as they've aired it, I'll play them here. Next up in our section, our little weekly class, we're going to take a look at fun and funny. And you don't know how many times I've had students mix up fun and funny. All right, let's take a look at our homophones over here, and we'll see what you guys came up with. I see a lot of people have figured out the words, and they've gotten them correctly. Let's see the words. Yep, the words. Look, everybody got the words right. And it looks like everyone's agreeing here that they are homophones. Really? Are you sure? Well, I hope you are, because they are. The first word is roll. And I know lo dije antes sin querer. I said, tu papel, tu función, tu rol. But remember, we don't say rol. So the pronunciation is not the same as in Spanish. Let's say, en español no te lo es rol, pero da igual, ya lo sabéis decir. Lo importante aquí es roll, right? No es tanto o, es más cerrado, roll. Fijaos también siempre en la longitud del what's the word? Del consonante, okay? Del vocal, no del consonante, del vocal. So the vowel, the length of the vowel is also an important thing, right? Because sometimes it's about the length of it. And in this case, it is. So roll. That's where we used to have the trivia nights. They used to be at Roll Madrid. So as I said before, roll, R-O-L-L. Well, first, think about this. Rock and roll, right? We've heard it there. That's why I said you all know that one and the other one, because you use it in Spanish. The only thing is you spell it R-O-L. We spell it R-O-L-E. So it's role, really. So let's take a look at some examples. It's a regular verb, so it's rolled, right? The ball rolled down the hill. The ball rolled down the hill. Okay, the car rolled along the street. Remember, we said it's also andar circular. Okay, then a roll of toilet paper, un rollo de papel. The British call it loo roll. We call it toilet paper. Pero si dices necesito un rollo, it would be a roll. Okay. Then you've got panecillo. Okay, un bollo, un panecillo, a roll. Okay. Another way to call it is a bun. We've looked at that word. We looked at it when we looked at haircuts. Un moño, a bun. ¿Por qué? Porque parece un panecillo. So a bun or a roll. A lot of times they call them dinner rolls. Si no está en contexto, right? Dinner roll de cena, que lo tienes ahí en la mesa. Okay. Then we said also to roll the dice. To roll the dice. And of course, it can be literally, and it can also be figurative, this one. Well, you got to roll the dice and see what happens, right? To roll the dice. Remember, the singular is die, como morir, right? I told him to roll the dice, okay? And he said he was only going to roll one die, okay? Another one, sacar. O sea, after you roll the dice, well, someone could ask you, what did you roll? ¿Qué sacaste? ¿Qué tiraste? ¿Qué lanzaste? Right? And let's see other ones. We said for film, scroll, pergamino, rollo, and that's not as common. A roll, oh yeah, un Michelin. There you go, a roll. A love handle, hablando de love, una asa del amor, una lorza. I've heard that one before, lorza. In fact, I invented the name Federico Garcia Lorzas. That's what I used to call my dog, Simon, Federico Garcia Lorzas. Because you know those pugs, esos Carlinos, they got rolls everywhere. So what else? And then, of course, we have got a lot of idiomatic expressions with that word roll. The good thing, la segunda es solo roll, papel. That's it. It only has one meaning. But that first one, R-O-L-L, to roll with the punches. This means to easily adapt to difficulties and changes. Sometimes in life, you've got to roll with the punches. Other times, you've got to let the good times roll. This is the motto, el eslogan, the slogan or the motto of New Orleans. I know we've looked at this one. Let the good times roll. And it means que siga el buen rollo, que no pare el buen rollo. Enjoy life and have fun. And they don't just say that there. Anybody who's ever been down to New Orleans, you'll know they live by that. They don't just say it. They really let the good time roll. Okay, let the good times, excuse me, con ese, digo, algo me suena raro. To let the good times roll. Another thing, you say the same one here. Let's get the ball rolling. Pongamos a rodar o empezamos a rodar el balón. Let's start something, the process, the activity. To be on a roll, to be on fire. Estás en racha. Hey, man, you are on a roll. You can't miss today. Another one, heads will roll. I'm giving you the most common ones here. Heads will roll means van a caer cabezas. Means people are going to be punished, slashed, fired. Okay? Let's see. Let it roll. That means continue with the plan. Okay, guys, let's let it roll, which is a little bit different than letting the good times roll. Okay? To be rolling in the money. Well, that means you got a lot of it. You can even say he's rolling in it. Sin poner money, y se sabe de qué se está hablando. Well, maybe it's because he wasn't afraid to roll up his sleeves. Remangarse, you say the same thing. You just needed to know how to say it in English, and now you do, because you're rolling with the punches. Estás, no, siendo flexible, moviéndote. Rolling with the punches, if I'm not mistaken, comes from boxing. You know, it's like, okay, just roll with the punches. Si te da, pues muévete para atrás. It's kind of accepting it and moving and trying to deal with what you have, you know? And I think those are all the expressions there. That's all of them. There are many, many more, but well, I jotted down just some of the most common ones, the ones that I think you would see in a movie or hear in a song or who knows, come across in a history book. So speaking of history, why don't we take a look at some history in today's Spelling Bee?
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
Folks, you know that I mean business. Boy, en serio. I mean business in our spelling bee, especially in round one, where I whiz through this. To whiz through it is another way of saying to fly through it. Many of you who live in Europe will know there's an airline called Wizz Air. Think of the onomatopoeic nature of the word. All right, so my amigos, as always, I am going to stump you, or try to stump you, I should say, on purpose. But it isn't always easy. Oh, wait. Where are these kisses coming from? We're done with the love stuff. Come on, we're done with the lovey-dovey stuff. We're working. Oh, my goodness. All right, Grandma. Okay. Okay. All right. Those kind of kisses hurt. No, we're done with the lovey-dovey stuff. It's not time for that. It is time for our spelling bee. And our spelling bee has little to do with love today. Here we go. Let's capitalize the first letter of each word, and we'll see how you do. The first one is OPTICAL space FIBER. The second one is FIBER dash OPTIC space COMMUNICATIONS. The third one, ELECTROMAGNETIC, I told you, space INTERFERENCE. The fourth one is NARINDER space SINGH space KAPANY. The fifth one is DANIEL space COLLADON. And the last one is JACQUES space BABINET. All right, let me catch my breath for a second here, folks. I don't think I can go any faster than that. I ran out of breath. I'm trying to catch my breath. ¿Lo ves en contexto? So to run out of breath es quedarse sin aliento. And to catch es recuperarlo, I believe you say in Spanish. So I'm still trying to catch my breath. Who's going to pick that up? Can you pick it up? Phone's ringing. Pick it up. I'm not expecting a call. All right. Well, oh, I know. It's that guy calling us from the time machine from 1977. And that's where we're going today. The year I was born. 1977. In fact, I wasn't born yet. On this date in 1977, I was not born until the end of the year, November 19th. But today was an important day in 1977 because optical fiber was first used to carry live telephone traffic. So look at that, 1977, not only the year Elvis died, the year I was born, but also the year optical fiber has many, many uses, but was first used to carry live telephone traffic. And now we're thinking, oh, optical fiber, come on, that's old school stuff. Well, it's still used, okay? Fiber optic communications, without that technology, we wouldn't be talking about the internet. You wouldn't be watching a live stream, right? I wouldn't be able to plug this. I wouldn't be able to send the signal from this microphone into that computer without this kind of technology. So really, it has more uses than I can even think of, and that I can even comprehend or fathom, entender, because, well, it's a whole industry, a whole science, which is fiber optic communications. All right, so not only are they difficult to spell, but also not the easiest topic to talk about, unless you work in this field, of course. All right, round two. Here we go, folks. This time I'll go at a more normal speed. The first one is OPTICAL space FIBER. The second one is FIBER dash or hyphen OPTIC space COMMUNICATIONS. The third one is ELECTROMAGNETIC space INTERFERENCE. The fourth one is NARINDER space SINGH space KAPANY. The fifth one, DANIEL space COLLADON. And the last one, JACQUES space BABINET. All right, amigos, we've got to go to a quick commercial break, our final commercial break. But when we come back, we've got so much stuff to cover. We're going to kick off with our Double Trouble. We'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. We've also got Name That Movie. We've got jokes, famous birthdays, Name That Lyric, and so much more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. I can't believe we're in the fourth and final part of today's show. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hablando de expresiones de amor. Con todo mi cariño desde la profundidad de mi alma, we say de mi corazón. Thank you. You guys are fucking awesome. And I can't help falling in love with you. Hey, we can learn a lot from Elvis. Because some people say, oh, I can't stop doing this. I can't. La forma de decir no puedo evitarlo. I can't help más gerundio. Just listen to Elvis. Or I can't help falling in love with you. Wise men say, los hombres sabios dicen, only fools rush in. Solo los tontos se tiran de cabeza o entran con prisa. For I can't, I hope you're singing with me, help falling in love with Vaughn Radio. And you've got much more Vaughn Radio all day long. Stay tuned, and you can learn English with all my amigos, Rob and Andy. Jules Linares, Kyle Miller, Dave Boyce, Chris Frank, Jimena Holiday, Fitz, Richard Vaughn, Jessica Fernandez, and so many more amazing presenters, teachers, / people, because they're not just amazing teachers. Behind every amazing teacher, there must be, it's indispensable that there be an amazing person who cares about the students, who cares about their progress, and who ends up being friends. It's happened to me throughout these decades now, that if you really work with a student enough, you end up becoming friends with that student. You're a confidant. You know, they call you in tough times, cuando las cosas se ponen difíciles. They celebrate things with you, all in English, of course, but that's kind of cool to be able to, celebrate your wins in English with someone, or to be able to talk about your feelings. That's the whole idea behind the question of the week, to get you guys talking about something every week. So make sure you participate. This week it's sponsored by our movie queen, Chris Valrol, and it's tell us your top three feel-good movies. All right, amigos, we've got so much to do, so we're going to kick off with today's double trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, amigos, double trouble time here on the show with no name. All right, let's see if you can hack it. Let's see if you can take it. Now, this is one that I know, there's no doubt in my mind, I know we have looked at this word in the past. Now, I don't know if we looked at it on the same day, and maybe we've looked at both contexts, or maybe just one. But at the end of this section, we will have a word or two new words under our belts in nuestro haber. Great expression. All right, here we go. El alcohólico encontró refugio en un bosque frondoso. Okay, yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes our double troubles are a bit wacky. We got to make it make sense somehow. So, el alcohólico encontró refugio en un bosque frondoso. All right, that is your double trouble. You've got to use, as always, the same word 2 times in that sentence. Good luck. While you're thinking it through, dándole unas vueltas, let me give you today's Say What soundbite for the 4th and final time.
You're not Chinese?
No.
I thought you were Chinese.
From Long Island.
Long Island? I thought I was getting advice from a Chinese woman.
I'm sorry.
Well, then that changes everything. What? She's not Chinese. I was duped.
¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant.
That's right, amigos. Brilliant indeed. Brilliant indeed. All right, well, let's see what we've got. I've got a lot of people participating in our double trouble. and all our different sections today. So thank you for participating, whether you're tuned in live, whether you're listening to the podcast. Thank you on behalf of all of us. Lo digo en nombre de todos porque puedo hablar en nombre de todos. Why? Son mis amigos. And I know how they feel too. We're very thankful. We're very grateful to have such driven students, estudiantes tan motivados. And let's see. The first part of our double trouble, el alcohólico. Yeah, you can say the alcoholic, but then it wouldn't be a double trouble. So we got to make it a double trouble. It just makes it a little more challenging, if you will. So the lush, that's right, lush. Como slush, como slushy, right? Slush es agua nieve. So no te confundes con eso, añadiendo una S delante, right? Y si lo habéis visto Los Simpsons, the slushy, right? That's the agua, bebida de agua nieve, ¿no? Estos granizados, a slushy, right? So it's not that, it's lush without an S in front of it. And a lush is somebody who drinks a lot. They drink too much, right? Another way you can say an alcoholic, he's a heavy drinker, right? But a lush, it's obviously if someone's calling you a lush, you have a problem, right? So the lush found refugio. You can say a refuge, but it doesn't sound very natural. It sounds kind of forced in there. But you could say found shelter. Now here, why didn't I put an A? Found a shelter. Well, you could say it, but I think here they're talking about the idea, right? In general, like if you know the Rolling Stones, give me shelter. He doesn't say give me a shelter. Es un sitio en general para protegerme, right? So that's why I left it. It sounds more natural to me. I like to explain, why isn't it a shelter? We could say, look, there's a shelter over there. We can get some shelter from the storm, right? Up there. Que nos podemos proteger. Cobijo is also the word. It's a word. I know it's got several different words in Spanish here. Let's take a look. Shelter, refugio, albergue, right? It's also, if it's a homeless shelter, it's centro de acogida, right? A shelter for immigrants or homeless people who do not have a home, right? So protection, it's a place where you are protected. And as we know, give me shelter. If you don't know that, y ahí podemos aprender dos cosas. La palabra shelter, sitio donde protegerme, okay? But also gimme. Dicen give me? No, it's gimme, Gimme. Now don't put that on your Cambridge exam because they'll want you to say and spell out give me. Sin embargo, it's gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme a man after midnight. Gimme, gimme, gimme a world on my own. I'm making up the lyrics, but the gimme, gimme, gimme part is the important part there. So it is the lush found shelter, okay, in a lush forest. The lush found shelter in a lush forest. Hey, that's not such a bad place to find some shelter. Wonderful job, everyone. Gimme, gimme, gimme some man after midnight. Now, that's going to be my earworm all day. Dos formas de decir ese concepto. It's going to be my earworm or it's going to be stuck in my head all day. La voy a tener ahí que no puedo quitarlo de la cabeza. All right, well, I know a way we can do it. Why don't we take a look at today's Name That Movie? Name That Movie. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Today's movie. Let's see if you can figure it out with a little synopsis over here. A swinger, lo decís igual, swinger, alguien que cambia de parejas, right? A swinger on the cusp. On the cusp is on the verge, a punto de, no? A swinger on the cusp of being a senior citizen, un anciano, with a taste for young women. Now, I know you say that exactly the same. With a taste for, con gusto, no, eso es su gusto. with a taste for young women, not woman, because aquí estamos hablando en plural, women, falls in love. El pasado, como me dices, lo vimos antes, se enamoró. Did you say he felt in love? Or did you say he fell in love? All right. I hope you said the latter. So a swinger on the cusp of being a senior citizen with a taste for young women falls in love with an accomplished woman closer to his age. Wow, what a deep premise over there. Well, it sounds kind of boring to me. I don't know. Senior citizen. Maybe I've never been into like senior citizen movies too much. You know, The Cocoon. I don't know. Well, 20th Century Fox, they declined to make this movie. They said that the leads were too old. The lead roles. Mira la palabra role ahí. The lead roles, who are Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Now, two of the greatest actors ever. But 20th Century Fox says, yeah, we know, but they're too old. So it's not just me. You know, everybody likes to see young people. Hey, it's ageism. Call it what you want. But it's true. I didn't make it up myself. And in fact, the writer, Nancy Myers, she knew when she wrote the screenplay that the roles of Erica and Harry, ahí está otra vez la palabra roles, were specifically written for Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got it here. Something's got to give. Now, here's another one. Wow, another idiomatic expression. Let's see how they do it. Something's gotta... no, they don't have it here on something has got to give. No tienen in word reference. Well, it means that we've gotten to a situation that's unlivable. Okay. So in this case, something has to give, or someone has to give, ceder. Okay. Aquí we've reached a standstill. Okay. So if you said something's got to give, no solo un buen título, pero es una expresión. Man, what? Oh, now you're fighting every day? Something's got to give. Tiene que cambiar algo o alguien. No puede seguir así is the translate. You know, I always, as I do, sometimes I know the idiomatic expression exactly in Spanish or similar. And other times, if I just tell you the situation, you'll be like, oh, it's unlivable. It's become unsustainable, right? Unbearable, inaguantable. So here it is as defined by Reddit. Got to trust Reddit. When something's got to give, it means there's an unresolved situation, conflict, or stalemate. Stalemate means que no se mueve. A ver, no sé la palabra en español. Stalemate, punto muerto. Callejón sin salida, ¿no? Un impasse. Un impasse? It's a French word, isn't it? Well, either way, you've reached a point where there's no progress at all, a stalemate. And the expression says that this can't continue forever. Something has to change. Someone, this situation cannot continue this way. So it's a great, great movie because you've got two amazing actors in it, Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson. So 20th Century Fox, the joke's on you. In fact, it was quite popular when it came out as well. All right, let's take a look at this scene here. Zoe says, this is really fascinating. Fascinating, ¿lo sabéis? What's going on at this table? Remember, we don't sit in a table or on a table. I don't recommend it. You sit at the table. So what's going on at this table? You can say around, but at te vale. Let's take you and Erica. Cogemos o decimos Erica y tú. You've been around the block a few times. Do you know this expression? Has ido por esta manzana varias veces. It's not your first rodeo. Experiencia tienes. No es tu primera vez, viene a decir. Tienes experiencia con esto. You've been around the block a few times. Okay? Otra forma, como te acabo de decir, this isn't your first rodeo. What are you, around 60? 63? Fantastic. Never married, as we said before, tied the knot. Which, as we know, if you were a woman, would be a curse, una maldición. You'd be an old maid, a spinster, And an old maid is la típica no casada, enfadada. I don't know how they would. Old maid es un juego también. Solterona. Okay. A spinster, it means the same thing. Okay. An old maid. De hecho, es un juego que jugábamos de cartas de pequeño también. The old maid. Blah, blah, blah. So instead of pitying you, tenerte piedad, or feeling bad for you, también se puede decir, they write an article about you. Celebrate your never marrying. Celebran que nunca te hayas casado. You're elusive, ungettable. To get is obtener. So ungettable, unattainable. A real catch, un braguetazo. Then there's my gorgeous sister here. Look at her. She is so accomplished. Ha hecho de todo. Most successful female playwright since who? Okay, playwright. We already said a screenplay. Well, a playwright. A screenwriter is somebody who writes for movies. A playwright is somebody who writes plays. Lillian Hellman. She's over 50, divorced. And she sits in night after night after night. She sits in, no sale de casa. Because available guys her age want something, forgive me, they want somebody that looks like Marin. The over 50 dating scene is geared towards men leaving older women out. Okay, so el mundillo de salir a citas con más de 50 años is geared towards, dirigido a men leaving older women out. O sea, omite la señora mayor totalmente, porque dicen, tú con una joven. And as a result, the women become more and more productive, and therefore, y por eso, more and more interesting, which in turn makes them even less desirable, because as we all know, men, especially older men, are threatened, amenazados, and afraid of productive, interesting women. All right, there you go. The movie is Something's Got to Give. All right, amigos, we've got to move on. So much to do. So we're going to check out our famous birthday trivia. That's right, it's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. Our first birthday boy was born in 1950 today, a virtuoso guitarist. He was in the rock bands The Herd, La Manada, and Humble Pie. Y eso es una expresión también. To eat humble pie es comerte tus palabras. Ahora tienes que ser humilde, porque no. So, when you lose, you got to eat humble pie. And, well, he's also known as a solo artist for his songs, I Want You, Show Me the Way. Also, ooh, baby, I love you way, every day now. And the one he does with the talk box on the guitar, Do You Feel Like We Do? It's awesome. And he's been on The Simpsons, Family Guy. I mean, this guy is a legend, an icon, and I should say a living legend. And he's from England, mate. I thought he was American at first, but I guess that's just American bias. Bias is sesgo, right? Ser sesgado, to be biased. All right, number 2, this guy, one of the greatest living actors, born today in 1937, so he's no spring chicken. He's played McMurphy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in Chinatown. He was in A Few Good Men. He was in As Good as It Gets, Mejor Imposible. Also, Something's Gotta Give. Esto no puede seguir así. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you just figured that one out. And he's got the best eyebrows ever. Mejores cejas del mundo, right? And last but not least, this woman was born today in 1928. She was an American actress and comedian known for her exaggerated voice. She had a very shrill voice, shrill, S-H-R-I-L-L, shrill, estridente, a very shrill voice, but so distinctive. She played Estelle Costanza on Seinfeld, which is where I discovered her, but she was also Mrs. Potato Head in the Toy Story franchise. So definitely a comedic legend. And as I said, she was in Seinfeld. I used to love her scenes. All right, so today's 3 famous birthdays. Number 1, Pete Frampton. Number 2, Jack Nicholson. And number 3, Estelle Harris, actress and comedian Estelle Harris. And that's going to bring us over to our Say What soundbite. This is Estelle Harris playing George Costanza's mom in Seinfeld, my favorite sitcom. And she meets a woman who has been giving her this advice. And she thought it was this like transcendental Eastern medicine kind of, homeopathic kind of advice. And she finds out it's just the normal woman from Long Island. And she's let down. She's disappointed. She says, "You're not Chinese." "No, it is, Gina." "No," she says. "I thought you were Chinese." She says, "I'm from Long Island." "Long Island? I thought I was getting advice from a Chinese woman." "I'm sorry." She said, "What do you want me to say?" "Well, that changes everything." "Pues eso cambia todo." And then she says, "She's not Chinese. I was duped." And the word duped, D-U-P-E-D, to be duped is engañado, timado. I was duped. Here she is, birthday girl Estelle Getty on Seinfeld.
You're not Chinese?
No.
I thought you were Chinese.
From Long Island.
Long Island? I thought I was getting advice from a Chinese woman.
I'm sorry.
Well, then that changes everything. What? She's not Chinese. I was duped.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we're going to take a look at Peter Frampton, the one and only Peter Frampton, and his song, I Can't Stand It No More. Sería any more, porque can't y no. Pero he needed one syllable. This is music. That's the way it goes. I Can't Stand It No More by Peter Frampton. Look up the lyrics. He says, when you wake up and she's next to you, cuando te despiertas y está a tu lado, you can't stand what she's putting you through. No puedes soportar lo que te está haciendo atravesar. Can't take no more anymore. So I'm going away. I can't stand it no more. Let's rock, amigos. Rock and roll. A word we looked at in depth today. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao for now. Ow, ow. Come on.